eating healthy.
What you doing with that knife there, Tammy? She's a doctor, and she's not afraid to cut you
I'm
open.
not afraid to cut you.
Well,
will
we're
do what I
talking to
say.
the apple. We're not
Yeah.
afraid to cut the apple open.
So today, I would like to call the show Banned.
Banned.
Who wants to be banned ever?
No, nobody does.
Hi, welcome back this week to The Naked Doctor. I'm Dr. Tammy.
And I'm Cryssie.
We have a wonderful show. I always say that because we always
But
do
we
have
always have a
shows.
wonderful show. We back it up.
Yeah, we back that. It's
Yep.
always fun. Fun
Yes.
stuff. So, eating healthy.
What you doing with that knife there, Tammy? She's a doctor, and she's not afraid to cut you
I'm
open.
not afraid to cut you.
Well,
will
we're
do
talking
what I
to
say.
the apple. We're not
Yeah.
afraid to cut the apple open.
So today, I would like to call the show Banned.
Banned.
Who wants to be banned ever?
No, nobody does.
Banned from.
They used to say that about when
Heaven.
movie would, it's banned in certain countries. Dun dun dun.
Isn't
Has
that
your
funny?
food been banned
Has your
in certain
food been
countries?
banned?
Oh
Yes.
no.
So I am with some friends the other day, and I see my friend's husband doing this number, and I'm thinking, oh, he's getting ready to cut his apple to eat, and we all want to be healthy, right? And I don't know if the camera can pick this up.
Oh, that's a nice layer of stuff that you scraped off
And
that
look,
apple.
all the fuzz, I don't know, can our camera guy get close in on that? But I mean, this is nuts. And I'm like, where were your apples at? Because I'm thinking that was just, sitting in, look, it's flaking off on the paper. And I'm thinking, like, what the heck? And I always wash my fruit before I eat it. It's a big deal. I always watch my son, I'm like, make sure you wash that off. Look at that whole layer on there. That is
Yeah.
nuts. And so even when we think, and again, we've talked before about the vibration of eating and not stressing yourself out and the cortisol that comes up with eating. Because I've been there. I've been in that place where it's like, I'm just trying to eat healthy and I can't
don't
think
know
about
what to do. You just stand. I think there was a time when I was depressed and very overweight that I stood in the fruit aisle saying, you know what, I don't know if bananas are good for me anymore. And I just started crying because I realized I wasn't sure what was true and what wasn't true and where to go. And what is that? Like a layer of wax? What is that? They made it look pretty by polishing it up like car wax?
Yes.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh.
And this was just an apple from a regular department store,
Grocery
a
store,
grocery
yeah.
store that we
Nothing
shop
special.
at. Nothing special about
The
it.
wax-covered apple store.
So with wax, and this is the kind of wax that they actually use on surfboards,
Oh.
the chemical. So with wax, you can't wash that off.
No, that'll just beat up. That's the point of waxing something. It makes
Yeah.
the water just beat up.
Yeah. And so my thought was, I don't care about the wax because I used to eat wax teeth when I was a kid.
Those big wax lifts. Oh, they were awful.
I don't mind a little wax.
Yeah.
The problem is what's underneath that wax that I think I'm
Ooh.
washing off.
What's getting waxed
that's
in?
Sealed in there,
Yeah,
right?
like a
That's
pesticide. Or
So
dirt.
going back to the people who actually govern our food supply,
Mm-hmm.
and just step back for a minute, the 10,000 foot view, we've normalized cancer. We have normalized migraines. Just see your doctor and get a pill for it. We have normalized all the things that these
Autoimmune
chemicals.
disease.
Autoimmune disease.
Oh, gosh.
You watch TV. I don't watch TV. I do Netflix, but I don't watch TV. But every once in a while you'll get like one of those services that like Peacock
Well, we
or
watch
something
live
has
sporting
ads.
events, and
Yeah.
you cannot help but get inundated with commercials
Ads.
when you watch live sporting
They're all
events.
drug commercials.
All of them.
All of them.
And it's getting to the point where you can't even pronounce the drugs. They're having to make up new words. They ran out of vowels. I don't know what a lot of these.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to stop eating medications. I'm not
Oh, no.
telling you to stop eating altogether ever. We're just increasing awareness here. And so, it's just like, if there's, I would say a million times, everybody's heard me say this a million times, a headache is not an aspirin deficiency. Something is causing that. And so really, if you can just take a little time and assess what you're eating on a regular basis, especially if you're eating a lot of it frequently, could it be a problem? So pesticides, are they underneath here? Is eating organic? And we have to remember that the government agencies that regulate this stuff
also regulate the definitions of things like
Also
organic,
regulate, yes, so
or natural.
Exactly.
Oh,
So when you buy organic, are you even
really
getting
buying
healthy?
organic? And
So those are
I
questions
feared
I
that.
don't
There
even know
was
the answer
there was
to.
discussion about that when organic became more prevalent in regular grocery stores as opposed to an organic specialty store. Was, can organic be maintained on the level that this type of distribution would require? Because the fear was, well, if we pull back the definition of organic and make that a little bit looser, it'll be a lot easier for us to get everyone organic food. Well, now it's not the same as what you said it was before.
And is that marketing hype?
Is that
all
marketing
organic?
hype? Is that just
Are
another
you spending
way?
more money for something that's not legit? I don't know. I don't know the answer to
Right,
that.
it's
I
hard
really
to
don't.
answer those questions knowledgeably.
I never have a hard time saying I don't know because I don't know, but I am always very, just aware.
wary and aware.
And aware.
Right. And knowing that
what
you
I'm
can
told.
make changes all of the time. My husband and I recently decided to do carnivore for 2 weeks, where we cut out everything that was not basically organic meat, to see how our bodies responded. A little less joint pain, a little less inflammation, and then we're adding foods back in so that we can monitor maybe something that's been causing a problem or has not.
Oh, girl, you're going to hate me again.
Are you going to tell me something else that's not so good? Ugh.
Not so good. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
They're saying it's time for break, so hang tight and you can hear I'm going to
Part
ruin
2.
her day. All right, see you right back. Hi, welcome back. Today we are talking about banned.
Banned.
We haven't even got
in
to
some
banned.
countries. Should
So-
it be banned?
What I would
Maybe.
like you to know is that I have banned all food.
You just banned. She enjoys air and the juice of the universe. That can't be right, Tammy. You have to eat food.
You have to eat something.
You do. You have to eat food and feel good about what you're eating
Yes,
too.
yes, it's a vibration. And everything in moderation, but awareness. That's really what we're trying to make you aware. And if it's moderation, spread your poison out a little bit, I mean,
Right,
it's like,
right.
like you were talking about when we did our sweetener show. It's like you start thinking about how much you're consuming, and then the regulating agencies say, well, a little bit is okay. What's a little bit? And when you start adding that
How
up,
old am I,
are you
and
eating it
how
every day?
long has this been part of my daily habit, and how much is that? Right. When we stop, we start thinking longer term than just in the moment, when we're not constantly afraid all the time.
Yes.
So it gives you a different perspective. That's what we're doing. So I would like for you to follow up on your cliffhanger about my carnivore eating. Yes.
Carnivore eating. Okay, I will. But first I'm going to talk about when you think
Okay,
you're eating
yes,
healthy.
okay.
So it's a little cliffhanger. I'm going to make you hang a little bit
All right,
longer.
I'm still hanging.
Because I get these things in my mind and I think, we're going to go in order. I'm just a little bit type A like that. So a little
Okay,
bit.
we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Next, popcorn.
I'm not sure where meat is going to come up on the list, but I'm just going to give some anticipation here.
It's coming.
So I actually had a friend send me, she's always sending me stuff about everything from, the conspiracy theories to everything. And so she sends me this thing on microwave popcorn. And I kind of heard passing over the years, as you hear with all of these things, just in passing, is that a concern, right? And so it's absolutely terrifying. And so I start reading about what's in the microwave popcorn, and there's something called THBQ.
THBQ, which means it probably has so many syllables
Yes.
that you can't pronounce
Yes.
it and that there's not room to type it, so it went to letters.
I'm not even gonna try.
THBQ.
So I threw a huge box of microwave popcorn away. Now I do, because this is a healthy snack if you
Yes,
eat
yes.
popcorn, but I have committed that now I'm going to pop my popcorn.
Like my grandpa used to do.
And some
He
coconut
always
oil?
popped it, and it was such a big deal when he did it. He would get the big pot out, and we love that so much. No reason why you can't do that.
No,
You
it
can
takes
take
10
a few
minutes.
more minutes than what's happening in the microwave, which I believe is terrifying if you look
And you
into
know how
it.
maybe popcorn tastes the way it is? They cook it in coconut oil. So why not just throw some coconut oil in your little
Right.
pan?
And
you
remember
know?
when they told us that coconut oil was bad for us?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? That was going to kill us all. And now we
Yeah.
know how healthy coconut oil is.
They said
Someone just
They
decided.
said cigarettes were healthy. They had
Oh,
doctors
yes, they
recommending
did.
it one
Oh,
time.
yes. These are good for your lungs.
Oh my gosh, during my research, I was actually looking at the American Cancer Society and things that are on the banned list. Cigarettes is on there, of course.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, it's not.
Not banned from sale, but you know.
Banned, like as far as causes cancer,
Right, right.
carcinogenic stuff. So yeah, so I threw the box away, a big box, and I did cut this off before I threw it away, just so I could be like, yeah, wow, it really is in there. So no more microwave popcorn for me.
And that is like a preservative, like an oil stabilizer. Do we know what that is and why it's problematic?
It is, yes, and it's one of those things that are on the GRAS list that generally approved as
Generally
safe.
regarded as safe, which I don't, yeah. Go.
And it's in foods like crackers, fats, oils, chips, and donuts, and other snacks, and prepackaged. And it basically is just a preservative to keep your stuff looking
like a fat
healthy
stabilizer
longer.
that keeps it from tasting, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we want our food to stay tasty fresh for months and months, long after all of the nutritional value has clearly
gone.
left it. Nom, nom, nom. Still so good. I love a good stabilizer.
It's kind of what we talked about McDonald's food. You know, the French
Oh,
fries
yes,
look like French
yes.
fries like
Even
2
months
years
after.
later. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're preservatives.
Frightening.
They have like 30 different chemicals in them. And so, yeah, it's nuts what's in these things. And talk about banned, these things are banned in many other countries. So THCQ and a lot of things we're going to talk about here are banned in other countries. Okay, Fruit Loops. Everybody loves Fruit Loops.
Oh.
Fruit Loops are banned in 15 other countries.
Well, first of all, fruit isn't spelled like fruit should be spelled.
No.
But here's a key. When the word fruit or any natural ingredient isn't allowed to be spelled like the actual word, then it's not in there.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops contains no fruit.
And be aware that the regulatory bodies that regulate the wording and the marketing of food,
Very
if
careful.
something is red, you can call it a fruit juice. If it's orange, you can call it orange juice. I mean, it's nuts what you can say.
That ketchup was a vegetable for a
Ketchup.
while. Yeah, yes.
It's red dye and high fructose corn syrup is what that is. Okay, so Fruit Loops have yellow and red dye in them, and red dye has been associated with ADHD in kids. So send them off to school with your Fruit Loops and then feed them their Adderall
Belly
at
full of
lunch.
sugar and color.
It's nuts. Okay, let's talk about meat. Were you talking about white meat or red meat on your carnivore?
This
Is it
was a
any
mix.
meat?
This was fish, chicken, and beef.
You're really going to kill me here. Okay, so this is nuts. U.S. chicken is banned in a lot of other countries because we have a lot of problem with salmonella because we grow these chickens up so fast and they're all cooped up together. And so a large bacteria culture can grow in those environments. And so we literally bleach our chickens.
No.
Yes. So there's that. And it's a sanitation issue too, if you're going to go with that. There's a little time for a break, so we're going to take a little break. And come
Okay,
back
I
and
feel
we're-
like it's another cliffhanger.
another cliffhanger. So we don't want bleached chicken. So we'll just leave you with that for a minute and be right back. Hi, welcome back to the Naked Doctor Show. I'm Dr. Tammy.
And I'm Cryssie.
We are having
A great show?
great
I don't know.
show.
I feel like I'm going to
know.
go home right after this and read a lot of the ingredients as if I don't do that already. But I feel like another culling should, like cleaning out your closet from
Yes.
time to time. Got to clean out
do.
your pantry from time to time.
Yeah. Basically, when I said don't eat anything, you know, what if we like made a little thought to grow a garden
Right.
in our own yard without pesticides and all that kind of stuff? So I don't know.
That's what my
but
grandma always did. We would
summer
have
food.
so much zucchini every summer. I feel like I miss that.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful summer thing. We would have summer meals that were all like tomatoes and corn and zucchini and okra
And it
southern
tasted
things.
better.
Tasted wonderful.
Food in our
It really
stores
did.
now, I mean, it just tastes like crap. And one of the problems is that they grow it on topsoil, so it doesn't even have the minerals and the vitamins and all the things.
And it's not ripe when it's harvested most of the time. There are large warehouses. Talking about bananas, there are large warehouses where bananas are brought in unripe, and then they are placed into this gas chamber type of thing that helps them ripen. And there are a lot of fruit that's not picked when it's ripe because it has such a long way to go before it gets to the consumer that it's ripened in transit. So that's why some things taste like wood, like the tomatoes sort of taste blah, like a tomato-shaped thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So even the vegetables, because arsenic is kind of a thing. Arsenic is in our food supply. Remember that apple juice thing not too long ago about the arsenic?
That.
So there are two types of arsenic. There's a good arsenic and a bad arsenic.
I didn't know that.
Kind of
I thought
nuts.
it was all bad.
I didn't know that either.
There's good poison and bad poison.
You know, in science,
Okay, not like that, but yes, good
you know, in
arsenic,
science
bad.
in the 5th grade when we have that elemental table that's got like, you know, gold and beryllium and silver, all those things on it. Well, arsenic is on there too. I think it's ARAS. You'll have to correct me. It was a long time ago. But there's elemental arsenic and then there is synthetic arsenic. So the elemental is in the ground. So you can get some elemental
It's just
arsenic.
periodic table arsenic.
Yeah. But the stuff, the chemical that they make is different. And the problem is that it is in our soil and it is in the pesticides. So I won't go there because there are certain rules about that we can't talk about certain things with pesticides.
Oh, but we're aware.
But we're
You can
aware.
Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, there's nothing in Google about pesticides.
Right. But so this is in there. So it's a legit thing. Now, when that whole thing came out and over the years they said, okay, arsenic's bad and it's poison. And, you know, so it was like, how much can they approve? So what they do is the government agencies that do their approval processes say, well, a little bit's okay. Is a little bit of poison okay? I don't know, but it's called ppb or parts per billion. It's funny when the health inspector, oh my gosh, this is just nuts. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna eat again. When they go to the restaurants, because I actually did some rotations in med school of the health department inspections, and there's so many parts per billion of insects.
Insect pieces in peanut butter. Yeah, that's another thing you don't want to Google. There are
Even-
approved parts per of all kinds of things in our food.
Get this, and I don't even know if we can say this on the show, you can bleep me out if you want, but condoms even have so many holes that are approved, micro holes that are okay. So it's like, what is okay? I mean,
Yeah,
really,
at
are
what
we
point is
asking
that not?
what's
It's
okay?
close. It's close, but not
close.
quite.
It's close, but it could be 18 years of your life.
That's wasn't
You
the
can't
right
get
kind
back.
of close. No.
Okay, so let's get back to the meat.
Okay.
So we talked about the chicken being
Yes.
chlorine washed. The salmon is, when it's farm raised, and I didn't even know this before I studied this, there's just so much, I was like, this is nuts. What happens is they are feeding them food with antibiotics because they're like all like the
crammed in
bacteria in the
together.
water. And that water also has all sorts of chemicals that have washed off as well. And there is methyl mercury and dioxin in those chemicals that they clean that water with.
Oh my.
So fresh caught salmon, like
Fresh caught, so much better.
Don't use farm
So
raised
one of the
salmon.
things that I'm realizing is that I need to shop more with quality as opposed to just the price point in mind, because it seems like whenever, say I'm looking at seafood, if I'm just concerned about getting the cheapest shrimp that I can get, or salmon, I can guarantee it's not gonna be the healthiest stuff. And that's another one of those ways that you change things, is by figuring out how can I eat healthy most affordably, but without sacrificing the quality of what I'm eating.
I think that's a good point, because I think that's probably what you guys are thinking right now is, oh my gosh, even if I do this, I don't have the time to grow my own food in my garden, and why are you doing this? And it's everything in moderation, but it's all about awareness. Like I studied up on PCBs. They're in plastic and they're obesogens and what we call endocrine disruptors. So they will mess your metabolism up. And the most common place we see those is in plastic. So you have a water bottle, you think I'm being healthy and I'm hydrated, and you got this water bottle and it sits out in the heat or it's in transit in the
your
heat.
hot car.
All those
Don't drink a
PCBs,
water bottle that's been sitting in your hot car all summer.
all those chemicals are just going right in the water. And you know when you taste water that it doesn't taste right if you're if you're really in tune to that, you know when it just tastes off. And there are some brands that it tastes better to me than it's just supposed to be bottled water. But yeah, it's not. So just be aware there's chemicals. I don't microwave in plastic anymore. I'm very aware of that. So mostly because it's the endocrine disruptor and I'm the hormone girl. So how can I preach that and not do that? It only takes a few more minutes to put something in a glass bowl.
Yes.
It only takes a few more minutes just to be aware of.
Or use an air fryer, for goodness sake.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
we
I love
use the microwave
fryer
so much less now that we have an air fryer.
I love it. Okay, and then the biggest issue with the beef is just the conditions in which they are raised and what is being fed to them. And with the chicken, when you look at the back of one of those big chicken supplier trucks and you see nothing but breast, nothing but hormones. That's nuts. And when you have breast, you either have to have growth hormone or you have to have some form of estrogen in the feed supply.
They're not building those giant breasts with muscles because they're not free range and they're not out flying. They're just, they're just being juiced up. Like that's really true.
And chlorinated.
And chlorinated, great. So grass-fed beef when possible, pasture-raised when possible. Just as clean as you can possibly get is the best.
Yeah. And really, when you think about if it's more expensive, what's your health worth? Just that's something to look at. So I'm going to be brief. They're saying it's about time to wrap up. So milk has RBGH, which is growth hormone, which is also a concern in the dairy, dairy as well as the beef supply too. Apples treated with all that stuff and the wax on them, they also are treated with something called DPA that keeps them from turning brown. You could use vinegar, that's healthy. That keeps them from turning brown. That's an old trick we used to do.
Lemon juice as well.
Why are you going to use this DPA? That makes no sense. Little Debbie snack cakes full of red dyes. We've got PFOAs, which are perfluorinated. I can't even say that.
Yes,
but
can't say it.
It's the same thing. It's the wax on the apples, the THBQ we talked about. There's just so many chemicals in everything. So I always say, the best thing is just to shop on the periphery of the store because all those, if there's more than 5 ingredients in something, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be one of these things on the banned foods that are banned in other countries. So maybe you should think about, not banning everything, but just banning the narrative that we're told when we're told it's okay, it's safe, it's okay.
That in order to make it cheap and readily available, that we have to somehow make it unhealthy in order for it to be affordable and doable. And I don't think that's the case. I really don't.
I watched a YouTuber who was actually doing this and comparing, and he was like the guy at the McDonald's spending like $20 for his hamburger and all. You know how it's not cheap to go to McDonald's.
No.
And then he's like, I cooked some pasta and some chicken at home, and it was less than $4.
Yes. But no one, we all have to do that whole show.
We do.
Cooking is not as hard as you like to make it out to be. Yes, and that it really is affordable and that we've come to a place where we're just so bent on convenience that we're willing to pay more for something that is, again, zero nutritional value. And we're trying to do the opposite with our kids. They look forward to what has mom made for dinner, and I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Fun. All right, got to take a little break. We'll be right back, and we are going to wrap this up with some things that you can do to change your diet around and just be a little more mindful, but not starve yourself. Right. Okay, we'll be right back.
I was so excited for Ryder to get home and try this flavor because I knew he would love it. The fruits and greens. It's strawberry and kiwi flavored. He throws it in a glass. He loves this little stir. It creates a tornado. It's all about the fun. Fruits, veggies, fun. Hello, let's do it. Fills it up to the tip top because that's satisfying, right? I knew as soon as he grabbed that straw he was going to love it, but I didn't think he'd have the whole glass down in under 3 minutes. His whole daily servings of fruits and veggies done.
Hi, welcome back. We are having kind of a gross show at this point, a little bit scary.
Not the best, but hey, you know what? We're going to make positive changes, so it's all going to come out good.
Yeah, just an awareness. And again, you mentioned a while ago, vote with your dollar. If we're not buying that crap and we have these higher standards that we're holding the food supply to, I think it could make a big change. So we talked about beef. Creepiest thing I learned in all of this, have you heard of pink slime?
Oh, no. No, please educate me on pink slime.
Should I just leave it, like go look it up?
Maybe that's one of the, is it one of those where it's like a mash of kind of everything that they just shape into? I feel like it is.
It's a filler, yes.
It is a filler.
I was
Oh,
going to make you go look it up, but I'm going to tell you, look up the ABC expose that was done in 2012. They showed that 70% of ground beef sold in the U.S. has a filler called pink slime. I'm not making this up. It's an ammonia gas antimicrobial agent. I can't even say all that in one voice. They just mix in with it. So anyway, I mean, there are lots of local farmers who sell, you know, grass-fed, farm-raised beef. So that might be an option too. But will I still eat beef from the grocery store? Yeah, I will. But I will never do it again without thinking of pink slime. And then you think about the fast food restaurants, how much pink slime is in their stuff.
How much filler is in that? Don't even want to think about it.
Lots of things. Watch your instant mashed potatoes, your Ritz crackers. U.S. pork has something called ractopamine in it that can speed up weight gain, actually. It's an endocrine disruptor, too, and that's banned in 160 countries.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't know there were 160 countries.
There's a lot of countries.
How many states are smarter than a fifth grader?
All you have to do is just think about how much food has been banned, and then you'll know how much.
Coffee Mate, I'll leave you to look that one up. The drumstick ice cream thing, we love that. That's creepy. Skittles has yellow dye and also has red dye, and it has something called titanium dioxide.
Oh, really? Like anybody thought Skittles had anything?
No, nothing healthy. But the titanium dioxide has been linked to ADHD and stuff. So don't give your kids Skittles in their little Lunchable packs. You know, they have Skittles or cookies in it. Oh my gosh. And then stovetop stuffing, and then there's vinyl chloride and stuff, and ACA. So, I mean, it just goes on and on. I'm not trying to scare you, but just be aware and maybe make some different choices. We did a food show not too long ago. It's not that hard. A little bit of meal prep. So what can you do? Take a lot of supplements, because that's what I always tell everybody, because they say, they don't see me eating the cleanest all the time.
Right.
I'm like, I take a crap ton of supplements. I exercise. I drink a lot of water to flush all that through.
I forego the drive-through. There's really not going to be anything worth anything in a drive-through.
And a drive-thru's not a treat. I mean, we used to think when we were kids, we'd drive up to Springfield just to go to
and
McDonald's.
It wasn't that common. And a night out for pizza was a night out. Yeah. That was a big deal. And everything's become so convenientized and so filled with fillers to keep them profitable that it's not the food that we were eating when we were kids.
So when you think about money and the finances of it, what's profitable? Is it profitable for them? Or is it profitable for you?
And that means long-term health, not just money, health, well-being, mental stability, all of that.
How you feel, how you wake up in the morning, how you expend energy with your family.
Choices.
All right, we love you very much. We've had a fun show, but it's time to wrap up. So hang with
next
us.
Time we're gonna have we're gonna do something fun, like about
more
flowers
fun.
or
flowers,
candy,
puppies, kittens.
Puppies.
I don't know.
Good
All
feeling.
right, we'll see you back here next week on The Naked Doctor. And again, we love you very much. Have a blessed week, and don't starve yourself. Just be mindful.
Bye bye.